Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. A moment ago, here was the scene with the Cowboys emerging from their tunnel. It was loud. It's still loud. We're ready for football as the Cowboys get set to match up with the New Orleans Saints. The bye weeks are over. It's all about football all the time as we're underway here in Week 13. On the return, it's Ted Ginn Jr. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The first carry now, this is Alvin Kamara, and he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. The second down throw for Bridgewater. Over the middle, that's caught by Meredith. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Give him 3 on the play, and it'll be 4th down. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. Back deep is Tavon Austin. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at the 20. From the shotgun, it's Prescott finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Von Bell up to make the tackle. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down on his play sheet, trying to dial up a big 3rd down play.
Prescott from the gun on 3rd. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, You've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. Call that a 46-yard punt with a net of 40 on a 6-yard return. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. 2nd down, Bridgewater. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. On 3rd down, Bridgewater. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Brown. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski. And that means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be fielded at the 8. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Saints coming out now to take the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Jalen Smith, the Notre Dame man, in on the tackle. Bridgewater now on 2nd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Tyrone Crawford in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Third and long now after the sack, and we'll see if Bridgewater has a response. Out of the gun, Bridgewater. He'll let it fly in the direction again. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay. I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
Well, you know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
It's coming now. Gun.
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. Finds a man with a crossing route. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. And now it looks like we've got a Cowboy shaken up down there on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. A 1st down carry by Elliott. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. They keep on the ground with Elliott. No dice this go around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Go to 54. Line. Going to 53. 26.
A 2nd down throw for Prescott. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. The linebacker, Demario Davis, got a hand in to break that one up.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Go. Get out there.
Prescott. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. That's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the 1st quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. It's picked up by the Cowboys.
I feel like you and I could be in our backyard with our dads right now. What did they always say when they were throwing us the ball? Look it all the way in. Make sure you secure it. That had the feeling of not happening there on that play, that he didn't have full control of the ball.
When that punch coming in, I've never returned punts, but I would imagine it's tough to monitor those guys coming full steam ahead at you.
It really is. You try and get that peek to know where they are about whether you should fair catch it or not. But sometimes you just have to have a sense, a feeling, and just have to make sure, number one, though, you catch the ball and put it away.
We're going 47.
They'll give to Elliott. Down to the 25. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. Prescott now. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they have little chance of winning this one.
And that is not going to get there. Oh, he missed it short. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So a bit of a weird kick there. That wasn't an overly long attempt, but that never had a chance.
You almost wonder if he might have maybe got that one on the laces because it kind of knuckled on him a bit. And this one winds up in empty possession.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. First down, Bridgewater. Flushed out right. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's 2nd down.
Nice job there defensively. A great time to dial up a blitz.
And give him credit under center instead of throwing it away. Actually a pretty good job of getting past the line of scrimmage, not losing yardage. From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, New Orleans. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Saints, if they convert the extra point, they'll have the lead. What's good on the extra point? With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. The give is to Elliott. He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Prescott now on 2nd down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. The Cowboys on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 5.
Here we go. 4-8. Here we go. 46, 46. Go. Get out there. 26.
Prescott to throw it. He's going to air one out. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. They chalk that one up as a gain of 34 on third down. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
Get out.
They'll run with Elliott. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
Let's go. Let's finish now. Here you go.
Second down, Prescott. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Prescott from the gun. Finds his target. It's Gates. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A first opportunity in the red zone for the Cowboys. They've got a 1st and goal to go at the 7. Now Elliott. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
Here we go. 47.
Throwing, Prescott. And his throw here's incomplete. The linebacker, Demario Davis, got a hand in to break that one up.
I know every offense wants to start their snaps closer to the goal line, but it's actually harder to throw the ball in those situations. You throw into that tight coverage, you see what happens. Hard to get the ball in there.
Not enough space there. Lucky maybe that it wasn't intercepted. They come out here in the eye. They'll try to run it in with Elliott. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
And Bailey able to knock it through. And they jump back in front here. It's 9-7. So he gets a shot at atoning for the earlier miss here in the first half and able to knock it through.
And what a relief for him, don't you think? Because how many games have we done where kickers missed one early and never gotten a chance to atone for it the rest of the game? That's a lot to carry around.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Throwing is Bridgewater. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Now Bridgewater. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Kamara. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
And, Brandon, every running back wants to use their speed in order to get out in front of things. Sometimes you just have to be patient, let blocks develop. On that play, that didn't happen.
The Saints on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, Bridgewater. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he's on to punt for New Orleans. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he's taken down here by the Saints.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle. And frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play action fake.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
47.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. 10th carry now for Elliott. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down.
They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers, he's under 3 yards a carry at the moment. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. Now Prescott. And he fends him off. Flush to his right. That scramble good for 13 yards, but not good enough for a first down. It's 4th. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Out now comes the Cowboys punter, as he's on here to punt it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. And this is a catch by Ted Ginn. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Bridgewater now. And a hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Throwing, Bridgewater. And this is going to be incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and that just continued there with that incompletion.
And definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Swing to the field, right. To the right. 26.
They'll start the drive with Elliott, fighting him off. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Let's go. Let's finish now.
After the penalty, it's Elliott. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. A good productive run there on first down. He winds up getting 8.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end, in the direction they want to run the football? If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now the rookie from Alabama, it's Bo Scarborough. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. So we have come to halftime here in Dallas with the Cowboys out in front. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. This one taken just inside the 10. And a nice spin into some open field. And he's going to wind up bringing this one inside the 45-yard line.
Partner, when I was in college, we used to have these things called game maxims that we did before every game. One of them said, press the kicking game. For here's where the breaks are made, is the area of hidden yardage. How about that return? Flipping the field, taking it past the 50, and getting things set up to start the series.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. Forced out to his left. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
The best quarterbacks that ever played the game all wanted to blend in with their teammates and be one of the guys. But sometimes you got to take modesty and put it aside. You're the franchise quarterback, the face of the team, and the guy that leads them to victory. You have to get down and protect yourself and not take hits like that.
Here's Elliott. Elliott at 1st down and more. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. They stay on the ground, but this time it's Elliott. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. Looking to throw. Prescott. And that is incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Bridgewater now looking to throw on 1st. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. This is Ingram on 1st and 10. Runs through the contact. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up.
Now it's a bootleg with Bridgewater. Rolling to his left. Caught on the left side by Ginn. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, it was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice 1st down.
Here we go, go.
Bridgewater on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. We saw this a lot in the 1st half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Bridgewater. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Give him 9 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
The Saints on 3rd down, a pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. To the air again with Bridgewater. And Ginn's got it. And it's a fumble. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 42.
Here we go, 46. 26.
Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. He gets away from one. He'll buy some time right. Looking for Austin. Intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Following the interception, here's Bridgewater. Eluding the pressure right. That's out to Hill, right side complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Bridgewater now on 2nd down. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a 1st down there. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Play action now. Bridgewater escaping the pressure right. That's caught. It's Thomas. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A gain of 32 that time. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Now Kamara, and he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing, but with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a 3rd and goal.
I have to think a major focus at a halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
They'll look to run with Ingram. No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal.
How about the fellas with the stars on the side of their helmets rising up on defense? We always hear about the Cowboys' rushing offense. Their rush defense is pretty good as well, I think, because they're so cohesive. Defensive line, linebackers really work well together.
They took it all the way to the 1, but in the end, opt for 3.
Just doesn't sound right, does it? If you get all the way down to the 1-yard line, isn't that supposed to be a play in the end zone that culminates in a touchdown for your team?
And per usual, it felt like the guys on the sideline wanted to go ahead and go for it.
Of course they did, but of course head coach, it defers back to him, and he made the decision. Let's get 3 out of this, make sure we get some points.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And last time, 1-play interception, so this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
That's into the hands of Gallup over the middle. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. A first down throw for Prescott. He finds Hearns left side. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. A big play here for Dallas. And even 40 yards. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to take us to the end of the 3rd quarter of play. The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Second down, Prescott. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Here's Prescott. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off by a former first-round pick, Patrick Robinson. And the return will stop right around the 25. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. They'll try to run some clock with Ingram. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
But Brandon Pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
3rd and short yardage, Bridgewater. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over. Now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Now Elliott. Dropped at the 35, but he was able to display the agility there. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
I'd say it's pretty good strategy. If you throw interceptions on back-to-back drives, let's see if the running backs can handle the ball a little bit, get things going, and also you motivate your offensive line. I think they're in the mood to fire out and hit someone.
I thought the defense, though, might be a little more prepared for that run. Pretty good gain on the ground. And this is caught at the 8. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Allen Hurns hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Cowboys have taken the lead here in the fourth quarter. All right, so the Cowboys will go for 2 here.
Here we go, 46, 46. Here we go, 40.
Out of the gun, here's Prescott. And this one's caught. And their fourth quarter lead grows by a couple more. He hits the big target for the 2-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Breeze again here on 2nd and 10. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Alvin Kamara really settling into the league in his second season. And, of course, he came out of Tennessee, but not a lot of people remember he started at Alabama.
He did and got caught in that big mix of running backs at Bama. And they like those bigger, thicker runners, those guys who can break down defenses through the middle. Alvin Kamara ended up leaving Alabama, going to a junior college for a while. I believe he went to Hutchinson Junior College before matriculating at Tennessee and finding his way to the NFL, where he is now a star.
It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Breeze going to throw. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Demarcus Lawrence in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. A gain of 32 that time.
I know they don't have rally caps in football, but Drew Brees would probably put one on right now. This is not the normal Drew Brees performance that we're used to seeing.
No, he's such a yardage guy. I mean, he lives on yardage, and this is rare.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, he's a guy who's been over 5,000 yards in his career in a single season. He knows how to sling it. Let's see if he can get something done before this one is over.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now Breeze. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Only a yard there. Sniffed out well defensively, and it brings up 3rd.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Now Breeze again. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Demarcus Lawrence in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. He hit his first one, this from 44 yards out now. And Lutz's kick is good. And that will cut this lead back down to 4 now. It's 17-13. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, you know, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Go 46.
Now Prescott. All incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead. You've got to protect it. And he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Prescott from the gun. Going up top. So they took a shot there on 3rd down. Couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Breeze now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. He's back to throw. Flushed out right. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down.
Well, he strung it out as far as he could, and I like the fact that he kept his eyes downfield, but he finally ran out of time and room. But I'll take that over forcing it downfield and possibly having it intercepted.
He'll look to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe.
And that one, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to come up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw. And it'll wind up being intercepted.
Good starting position for the Cowboys here as they come up 1st and 10. Another carry tonight for the workhorse Elliott. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. 38 yards on the scamper there.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. And now it looks like we've got a Cowboy shaken up down there on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. Now they'll run it with Scarborough. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
It's Scarborough again. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4. And Bailey able to knock it through. And that'll make this a 7-point game. But from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. One possession game, time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited timeouts. You got to get out of bounds and keep the drive going and set yourself up. Defensively, you can't just lay back and let them do whatever they want. So it is a cat and mouse deal here. How much pressure will the defense bring, and how much pressure can the offense handle?
We're going to find out. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Back to throw. And it's hauled in by Ben Watson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there at 22. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep down. This is caught inside the 15. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. That one goes for 36 yards. 21. One final try here for Breeze. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17.